Everybody, and welcome to the Grandpa Des Show. Sorry, I'm a little off because I got a guest in the room, but here we go as always with the opening. Hang on. You know what? Heck, whatever.
Do a test.
Well, you know what? We're recording, so it doesn't even matter.
Record. There's nothing on the screen right now.
Yes, there is.
Here.
I'm recording. Cup of Joe with Grandpa Des. All right, here we go. I'm Paul Fontaine. Got a guest in studio.
Yeah.
Jimmy Mack. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing. Jimmy Mack is not the dog. It's me.
Yeah.
And his dogs love me. So which is nice. Thank you for because I bring biscuits. I bribe dogs everywhere I go. Oh, I gotta hold them. What already? I'm doing work.
Yeah.
I thought I'm the guest this time. Where are you going? I gotta talk alone. Hi. How are you? Okay.
How'd you find the place?
Google Maps.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I found your place. Because I have no idea where I'm going around this joint.
I see you in St. Patel, right?
Paul's very prepared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which bike? Not a pedal bike, just a tricycle.
Your motorcycle.
Yeah, the Harley. I ran around on the Harley and have some fun in the summertime. And we can't do much, or we couldn't do much. I know people can't really see it, but there is like a plastic between us, which is how we're able to pass the mic across.
Yeah, COVID protocols are well in place. So here, we'll just do this. Here, I got this nice fangled new thing here.
Is there a time limit on this?
No, we'll go like half an hour.
That's
at the most. Yeah,
I've never gone half an hour in my life.
Well, yeah, except for when you were supposed to do 20 minutes back in the comedy days.
Yeah, back in the comedy days.
Then you would go half an hour.
You got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of the time where you can get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just explain where.
Yeah. So Jimmy and I, we started out at you were already fairly getting established, and I was a brand new spanking open mic comic. Me and my buddy Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl Lesage,
Yeah.
good friend. I'd love to get him on the show sometime.
I just came in and asked you about Daryl too.
Yeah. So the last I'd heard, he was having some medical issues.
Yeah.
He was in the hospital, but he got out. Him and
Did they know?
Yeah.
You said it. He got
before
out.
COVID. It's before COVID.
Okay, yeah.
But him and my son were working together at a carpet cleaning place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he did comedy for a while.
Yeah, Daryl did stuff for a long time. I never knew where he disappeared.
Yeah.
People just lose touch.
Yeah.
You hope to see guys here and there on the circuit once in a while when you can, but
do you want Diet Coke or something?
Didn't I bring I brought something in to drink. I'm good. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
I'll get it in the commercial. I'll go get it.
Yeah. Commercial.
Yeah. So Daryl,
working on that.
Yeah. You and I sort of lost touch.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as Facebook is a negative place for the most part, and I'm just as guilty of bitching and whining a lot of times too.
I got a bone to pick with you about Facebook. I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. You go right ahead and pick. But again, that's how sort of we reconnected too, right?
Yeah.
So that's just what happens. That's the nicest thing about Facebook. You can find people, you can find exes and block them. You can do anything you want. So
I just found one of your partners on Facebook and reconnected. And I had him on the show a couple months ago, Joe.
Oh yeah, Big Joe Aiello, right?
Yeah. He's a good dude. But no, Facebook. So I always watch the Jet games on a delay. So I'll be like checking Facebook, and nobody is posting about Jets games except for you.
Yes.
Hella Suck has let in 4 goals on 20 shots.
That was actually 7 seconds into the game.
Yeah. So I'm spoiled, and I'm just literally starting because I figure, well, it's okay to scroll Facebook, but I don't want to block you because you're pretty entertaining.
Yeah, you can block me.
No.
Okay.
You're entertaining. All through the COVID stuff, you were. You know what? Like I could tell you were actually doing everything you were supposed to do, but you were kind of looking at it like, this is bullshit.
Well, I
like you're doing it because you don't want to rock the boat. But
again, so I get upset with this is where I got upset. Just specific mandates that just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
that you and I need to wear a mask right now, unless you're taking a sip of coffee or eating. It made no sense to be that far apart from each other for no reasons. Certain things, and the anti-vaccine people, I'm not an anti-vax person, but I just don't understand why you would lose friendships because your buddy either A, got it or B, didn't get it. It just made no sense why people were so angry at each other. And that's where it's almost like that plot. And I know it's a bad analogy and it's not. I know who would pull the trigger behind my head after this COVID. right?
Yeah.
Because if you're willing to ditch a friend that you've had for 20 years because they don't want a shot, you're the guy they're looking for to say, hey, take him out back. He's unvaccinated and shoot him. And it'd be like, all right, we got to get rid of these unwashed here.
Yeah,
Or-
no, and it's ridiculous, and we're to the point now where like pretty much everybody's had it. You know, like
Oh,
I,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't think I have. I may have. I've never tested positive, but I'm pretty sure I had it at one point.
well,
In February, maybe late January, early February.
yeah, for where I was working at one point in time, everything sort of started coming out for November-ish. It was like a November, December. And
Yeah.
The clients that I worked with, they were just deathly out of it. And I remember I had some Tylenol, and we could give people Tylenol, but I didn't give them the ibuprofen or the what's the other one? Who knows what? No, Proxen or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they said that would elevate this particular thing. This is later on, but Tylenol seemed to alleviate some symptoms for people with COVID. Now that they established it was COVID. So out of the entire thing, everyone was sick. A counterpart of mine, he and I were the only ones who weren't sick. I sneezed once.
Yeah.
He had a sniffle for a day, and that was the end of it. So I still think that at that point in time is when I did catch whatever it was. I found out this particular year that I am an asymptomatic carrier.
Oh, okay.
For my job, I test between every 2 days or every day.
Oh, wow.
And
Even though you're vaccinated?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Vaxxed, unvaxxed, you're testing no matter
Wow.
what to work with specific clients.
Yeah.
And so it was like test, negative. Boom, positive COVID.
Wow.
And I remember I looked at my cat because I'm single, and I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And the cat was like, "You didn't get it from me. I don't go anywhere, you know." And right after that, the next day, negative.
Oh, so that's where you figured out you were an asymptomatic carrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have no idea where, and again, I had absolutely no, did I say cookie again? I'm sorry.
I should have warned you.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't,
He just got fixed. So
okay. He just got fixed and he's upset now. Yeah. It's not my fault. I didn't cut him off. He's like, I know. I woke up. I had no balls.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
So I don't even know if I had it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because
you tested positive.
I did test positive. Now they say if you test positive, those are correct. And then they say, and then they go, well, you know what? Then there could be some false negatives in there. But even a doctor will say, if you're testing, so again, after every day, I have to test for 7 days straight to be clear,
right,
to go back to work, right?
How long ago was this? Because that's changed, right?
This is, I don't know, 6, 7 weeks. Let's say 6 weeks at max.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, yeah, that's probably the same as it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're, like you said, you're with very specific clientele that are vulnerable, I assume.
Yeah.
So I work not directly with people, but I work to help support people like that.
So I had absolutely no symptoms. And that's why I was so shocked that I tested positive for it. I have asthma. There's asthma people out there. To me, everything was melting at the time. It was dry. It was slightly dusty. This is the type of season where, I get this weird little cough all the time.
Right.
I literally coughed once. I took my inhaler a couple times but again, no symptom, right? But you would think if you have COVID, you're testing constantly, with the virus. That's why I was slightly shocked. And it's the same test that I had 2 different tests.
It almost makes you wonder, like maybe they're testing a lot of people. Maybe your sample got mixed with somebody, like, I mean, if you're testing negative, like 14 out of 15 days.
Yeah.
And the one day you test positive, you think, well, maybe that was the one that was wrong.
Yeah. So I took it as, and work took it as positive, which we should. Yeah. Right. And
better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you don't see the folks, you don't see anybody else. And
that sucks.
Yeah, I was fine with it.
Yeah. Well, me too. Like, I mean, this is a great place to quarantine.
Yeah,
we got a nice house, and but luckily we haven't had to. So.
I got a lot of wrestling stuff and belts. I just walked around naked wearing a belt every day. Just me and the cat.
You got the network, so
actually, no, I don't have any.
Oh no, I'll give you my love.
Yeah, do that, please. Yes. I have no Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, you told me.
I have absolutely no Wi-Fi.
Well, then it's not going to help you.
No Wi-Fi. I have no cable TV or anything.
Wow.
Before, this is pre-COVID, I was basically a gym rat.
Yeah.
And then I would go home and go back to work. So that's sort of, I've just kept it that way.
That was one of the things that you would always bring up, was that you couldn't you know,
Oh yeah.
you know,
I was
and
pissed.
you were like, why can they do this, but I can't go to the gym?
Yeah.
Like that made no sense.
Yeah.
And you were right. Like
Yeah.
I'm reading and I'm like, okay, I'm probably more like on the conservative side. Like I'm you know, and not politically, but just in terms
Yeah,
of like
sure.
protecting. Like I'm going to do whatever I'm told. You
Yeah.
know, I may not agree with it, but when I hear you, and we may not see completely 100% eye to eye
Yeah.
politically, but I totally agree with what you're saying.
It just didn't make sense, and it
Yeah.
still doesn't make sense to me. It's like saying that if you can't go to the hospital unless you're vaccinated. The hospital is probably one of the cleanest places you can go.
Not
Right.
to mention, you can't, even if you are vaccinated.
Yeah.
My wife was in the hospital just a month ago, and I couldn't see her for 5 days.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
and she's stuck in a room, you
Yeah,
know, with
yeah.
sick people.
yeah,
Like, and I'm healthy,
yeah.
you know. So they say they're doing it for my protection, which whatever.
Again, it was the reverse, right?
Yes, yeah.
It seemed that you know, and that was the other thing. It was like a reverse, right? It wasn't like,
Yeah.
well, wait, everybody who was vaccinated was scared.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody who wasn't vaccinated was like, hello, my baby.
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
my dog.
And I just went to, you know, to WrestleMania. You got here, show them your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the shirt I picked up for Jimmy in Dallas. He's a big
he
Cowboys
didn't,
fan.
like, so, like,
Well, he bought it.
yeah,
but
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. When someone says pick it up, they gave it to you.
Yeah.
He charged me double because
Yeah.
gas and hotel. But I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, which I know it hurts. But
I
yeah,
don't think people.
I think this is such a cool shirt with the Dallas star and then the WrestleMania on the side.
That
with the star.
that building is
Yeah.
something else.
I-
Second time I've been there.
Yeah.
You gotta, but once in your life, you gotta see a show.
I go, oh, hi, the dog will take it and play chew toy with it.
And you got the WWE bag.
Well, that's what cost the $40. The shirt was 10.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
And yeah, I got a little bit of memorabilia, but not much. I got some friends, you know, so we got comped, which was nice.
you got comped into WrestleMania?
Yeah, awesome seats.
WTF, man? Like,
We got
who
my
do you
daughter.
know? Oh,
Who do
okay.
I know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Well,
he actually, if you haven't checked Paul's Facebook page, he had some great photos.
Yeah.
Of a lot of the characters you were meeting in the lobby. You know, hi, and yeah, I was jealous, and that's sort of how we actually reconnected.
oh yeah,
Which is the story we were getting to, and I said, I begged him. I said, hey, I know that you probably don't remember me, but can you buy me a shirt? Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
I hate Roman Reigns.
It's not far off.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's through my daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter, I don't know if you've she's got
Yeah.
specialty. So the people you work with, are
Yeah.
they like similar to Emily?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay,
No,
okay.
no. I really can't talk about
No,
it.
that's fine.
But
That's fine. That's why I
yeah.
wasn't gonna ask for details, but
yeah,
just, you know.
I'll just keep
Yeah.
it away. I'll
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
it
that's
quiet.
fine. That's fine.
But yes, they're characters.
Confidentiality.
Yeah, they're characters.
Yeah.
For sure. And I do have fun working.
You
where
enjoy
I
it?
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's times that it's slightly frustrating. I'm sure you've gone through it.
Yeah. And you know what? My son-in-law, and I think I've got an idea of what you're getting at. And my son-in-law went to school, and that was his goal. He
Okay.
wanted to work with
Yeah.
what it sounds like you're doing, and he ended up in administration.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's working in an office,
well,
not doing
some
direct
days
support.
I could take the administration part.
Yeah, and you know, for me, like especially with COVID,
Yeah.
like this worked out really well because now I can work from home.
Okay.
And
yeah.
you know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
still go
that's
into the
right,
office once a week,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, that was the other thing we connected over,
Yeah.
not just comedy but wrestling.
Yeah.
I remember one of the very first conversations I had with you was WrestleMania 9, and it had just happened.
Yeah.
So this is 93?
At least.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
93. 93.
Somewhere in
Because
there.
it was Hogan had just come back. He was scheduled to have the tag team match with Money Inc. at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
which he did. And then he had the impromptu title match with Yokozuna at the end of the show.
That was Caesar's.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was furious.
Yeah.
And you were like, you're still to this day,
this
big
day.
Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
you know, like he's, you know, this might be Hulk Hogan. You know,
Yes.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had an argument about it, but you know, it's civil. We're both wrestling fans and
Sure.
everything. And I'm like, I don't like, you know, so I think I was getting to the point of the people that were starting to turn on Hulk. And you just never turned on him.
Never.
You know,
I still haven't.
No, and,
Yeah.
and even when he was a heel.
Even when he was healed, he became a hero to me. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
They
And
were-
maybe
but-
more so.
That was the first. I mean, we had cool heels.
Yeah.
But we didn't have Hogan cool. Right.
Well, yeah, and Nash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Nash, Klingon heel, as I call him. Him and
Fair enough.
X-Pac can go and
Scott.
Yeah.
Oh no, Scott's a big favorite of yours too.
well, yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
I knew Scott, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, but he was still cool.
Salt
like,
of the earth.
Yeah, he was still a cool guy, like a cool heel pre me getting to know him.
Right.
So, but yeah, Nash and Six Pack, I just don't think they had. And I just talked about it on a different cast.
Yeah.
About Kevin Nash, and it's just he had 4 moves. It had the elbow into the corner, he had the boot, and he had the power bomb.
Oh, he's not a good worker.
No,
at all. He's the smartest guy in wrestling. He made the most money
with
the least amount of ability.
Yeah, talent. Yeah, I would say talent. To me, he wasn't even.
That's fair. That's it, because he's an athletic dude. Like a basketball player.
Yeah, he was athletic. I mean, for big men, right? They moved pretty good. Yeah. Well, better than some of the guys today who aren't as big, or nobody's as big any longer.
Morrissey, you know him?
He
used to be a big Cass.
Yeah. But I mean, in today's wrestling, who's really a monster? Like, you can put Bobby Lashley against somebody, and
Lesnar.
Lesnar. But I mean, those are guys fading out, right?
Yeah, Lashley, and even Roman could be that, but he's not. I know you're not a fan.
I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns whatsoever.
No, but but that's not the way he's presented.
No,
and in the other company,
but
nobody. Wardlow.
Wardlow. I would love to see Wardlow make the switch. To be honest,
we were just talking about that. And so this group here, I'll put up the thing.
Don't put up your thing.
No, this. Fight Game Media.
Okay.
The place I work for. This is just for my own shits and giggles.
Yeah.
But we had a conversation about, if you were going to make a trade, what would you trade? And my idea was trade Ricochet to AEW.
Yeah.
And bring Wardlow over to WWE.
Please.
I think they're both better fits.
Please take Ricochet and take that moron Ali with you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
please,
he's coming back.
free Ali.
He's coming back, I heard.
Yeah. Well, you cried enough?
Well, no, they're just going to job him out.
Yeah, good. They should. Yeah.
He's getting a feud with Ciampa.
Yeah. See, again, my thought process is always, it's like an NHLer, right?
Yeah.
You sign the contract, honor it. Like,
right.
At least show me something. And I've always said the same thing. If you can do what you do for a living, right, and what you love, then you're never really going to work. And I understand he's sort of in the back, but I think he's in the back because he chirped.
Well, part of it, I think, is because he wasn't happy with what they wanted to do with his character. Yeah. So, but I mean, if that's the case, then you know what? Then just quit.
Yeah.
Quit, go home, and then I guess maybe that's what he's trying to do. But then, they're holding him. They're going to pay him to not work.
But that's
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, pay me.
Go home.
Yeah, I'll say.
And he still puts out videos online that he's training, and he's working with some of the guys. But I know what he's saying. He's not on a main stage. He's not playing inside the game.
This isn't what he signed up for.
Yeah. So, but again, if you're going to go on and chirp about your bosses and blah, 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 like, you just don't do that to Vince. Like,
no.
And I don't think Vince is maybe as evil as we think. I think he's got the evil empire that people have created in their mind.
I don't think anybody could be that evil.
I just don't think so. No. But if you're going to go out and
he's ruthless.
That's ruthless, but not evil.
That doesn't necessarily mean evil. Yeah. And the other guy, Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ruthless in a different way. Like, the people that work for him wouldn't say he's evil, but don't tell me he's not ruthless.
No,
you don't become a billionaire.
No,
by being just a nice guy.
The other thing too,
he is a nice guy. I've had some correspondence with him too.
Okay, but he is, like, on a different side of things, where Vince is. He wants specific talent to work trust his process.
Right.
If
he thinks you'd make money for him as a terrorist.
Sure.
That's what you should do.
Then just do it. Like, I know it's stereotypical.
Yeah.
And people would whine and cry.
Yeah.
But it would work.
Yeah. Like, and if it doesn't work, it's on him. It's not on the performer.
Look at Austin Theory and even Seth Rollins right now.
Yeah.
How many, I don't know about you, but when Seth Rollins started with these stupid, his socks, no socks, the shoes, the dancing, this character of whatever, I was like, oh my God, come on. And then all of a sudden, within trusting the process, play the character for 6 months. Let's see where it goes. People started singing for him again. People started buying into him. He's on the main stage. They could
turn him face now, and he'd be the biggest guy in the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the same thing, Theory.
Yeah.
Same thing with Theory now. He could have just been like, what do you mean I got to be in Vince's office? I want to work.
Oh,
trust the process.
Or before that, do you watch NXT?
I try not to.
Okay, but when he was on there,
he
was playing a little kid.
Yeah.
And he was a highlight of the show every week. He's taking the stuff they give him and making the most of it. And you know what? In 5 years, he might be John Cena.
Sure.
You
I
know?
think he's got huge potential. Like
He does.
out of everybody there right now, of the
Yeah.
newcomers from NXT, like he's it.
I just listened to a podcast today where they were bitching because he lost to Finn Balor. I love Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor's great. He's got a great look, but he's 40.
Yeah.
Austin Theory should be beating that guy.
He should. Or,
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you an example that I like to use. Let's say AJ Styles and Omos. Let's just say that Styles was the one in that match. Omos squashed him.
Yeah.
But let's just say the match went 35-40 minutes. AJ Styles should win that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he's outraced the monster. And that's the theory. Not the theory, but the Austin theory.
Kind of
right?
like Shawn Michaels Undertaker back in the day.
Shawn Michaels and Diesel.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania 11, I just
Yeah.
finished rewatching that. And that match, it's all Michaels.
Yeah.
It's Diesel with his 3 moves throughout the entire match. It's 3 flipping moves here and there all around. But Michaels carries him, and he outraces. Well, he doesn't in the end, but he does outrace the character, right? And that's, to me, where an AJ, if you're going to put him over, or like you're saying with the little kid and he outraces and wins the game, it's the guy with the athleticism that should beat the older guy if
True.
you outrace him.
True. All right. So another thing we touched on it, hockey. And a guy I want to ask you about. I don't want to talk about the Jets because, as you can see, I'm a Jets fan.
You hate them, yeah.
No, I love the Jets, and you. I think you want to like the Jets. You just don't.
I just don't like some of their decisions.
What's your team?
Make. I'm not even going to say it's Montreal.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair.
Yeah,
you must have been happy last year, and they made the finals.
Oh, I was ecstatic.
I was just listening. I'm way behind on the Bob McCown podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm just up to where the Canadians had just made the finals.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
I actually called it. If you go back to my Facebook, since you filtered, it might even be gone by now, or Twitter account. I called it. As soon as they played Toronto, I said Montreal will beat Toronto.
As soon as game 1 of the Jets series. I mean, you knew that was going to be a sweep. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Like, and anyone that thinks, the Jets are going to come back from this, no. I mean,
just,
you thought Scheifele should have been booted for the whole playoffs, and I mean, it turns out he was, but that was a dirty hit. I love Scheifele, but that was a dirty hit.
Yeah, I didn't like that hit. I don't like, with the clients that I work with, we watch a lot of, they know I'm a sports person.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of the Jets and a lot of hockey, and they've sort of, at first they were like, oh yeah, great hit, and now they've sort of taken on my thing where if someone gets hit, whether it's football, NFL, I hate seeing, I don't care who it is. It could be Marchand, who I can't stand. I don't want to see that guy lying on the ice. Do I want to see him, take a beating from whoever? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. But I definitely do not want to see him hurt. Right. Yeah.
And that goes for nobody.
Yeah.
One of my worst memories ever in hockey, and you'll remember this, I think it would be like 86, Dale Hawerchuk getting
Jamie McCown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That ended the Jets that year.
And they might have won the cup.
Again, I think they could have won the cup if
the
it wasn't
Flames
for
ended
Bill
up winning
Ranford.
it that year, I think, right?
It
was the Habs.
Montreal.
Was the
They
Habs?
beat Montreal.
No, that was 86. Habs won. They beat it was 89 where
89,
where the Flames won. But I mean, they made the finals, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Hi, you're back again.
Yeah.
My arm's getting sore.
Sorry, but hey, come here. So okay, another guy I want to ask you about, and I want your opinion. I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyways.
Well, if you know,
Don Cherry get a bad rap?
Yeah,
I think so.
So even today on this podcast we're on, I don't know when this particular.
It'll go up to later tonight.
Okay, so like he's trending on Twitter because people are they're in this debate again on this and the you people thing. And you know what? If you could go back to 100 coaches' corners, and he says you people all the time. He never points people out. So I was in Afghanistan performing for the troops in 2010, and that's how I got to know Don Cherry. He ended his, like when he did his spiel, he was obviously the center of attention. So, and he and I did a little coach's corner routine together. And then when he would say a little speech to all the troops, and that's his whole thing. And trust me, when you're in Afghanistan, there's every color of person in that, regiment, wherever we were, right? And he always said the same thing. He goes, I'm telling you, you people are the greatest people on the earth, right? And he didn't point out specifics. He just said, you people. And I just think that day he got carried away, as he does, because he's so passionate about Canada and the military that he mentioned a few things and then it got poked right into the same side, but I don't think he meant it as he meant it. He just meant if you're coming to the country, and I totally agree with this, and anyone who doesn't agree, then maybe you shouldn't, have an opinion. But if you go to any specific country anywhere in the world, you have to sort of get into their tradition, right?
A little bit. I mean, and we pride ourselves in allowing people to express their own cultures, and we do that, and we make concessions and everything like that. But when it's something like Memorial Day or Remembrance Day, where like you have troops that died for everybody, not just for the white people, not just for the black people, for the Indians, for the the Asians, everybody. And so if you're being asked to wear a poppy, and so when he's walking down the street and he's seeing, and I think if he could say it over again, he would probably not even necessarily be referring to a certain ethnicity. No. He's talking kind of about young people in general, I think, in a way. Like there's like a lot of white teenagers, are walking down the street. They're not wearing poppies. That probably pisses them off too.
Yeah, I just don't think people are as maybe educated when they come here on what the military was all about, and that we have a specific day. And you know what? Half the people don't even pay for the poppy anyway. So how difficult is it really?
I get one and I wear it. I try to wear it. It falls off all the time. I respect it. And when I go to a hockey game, remove your hats. Sure. I take my hat off. I stand up. It's the very least I can do. Yeah. And that's why you're doing it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, again, the hat off thing, there's so much actually it goes back to if women are in a dress hat, they aren't expected to take off their hats. But if a female at the hockey game is in a Jets ball cap, I don't give a shit that you just woke up 6 minutes ago and didn't have makeup. You take the hat off. Yeah. And everybody does. Everyone's, oh shit, here goes. Who cares, right? So we're all in the same boat, and that's sort of the rule of it.
2 hours later, they're throwing their hat on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. When have we ever seen a hat trick in Winnipeg this year? Yeah, other than the other team. I don't know. Have we had a hat trick this year? Kyle Connor, I would say, if anybody.
Maybe not, because you know what? Well, the thing with Connor is he had scored in more individual games than anybody else, so it's always like one goal.
Yeah,
I think the last one I saw was no, you know what? It might have been this year. Ehlers, maybe.
Oh, could be.
December?
Yeah,
maybe. December, maybe.
So I just want to clarify. I don't despise the Jets.
I know you despise certain players.
I despise certain attitudes, right? Like I can't stand Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, I know.
The thing with Wheeler, this is a few years ago. This is where I lost all respect for Wheeler when they were out of the playoffs. And now, how many games are left? 3, if that?
4, maybe.
4.
They're out.
Yeah. So I think this is still back. He still came in, and I'm not going to say he's a young man because he's still young. But he
compared to us.
Well, yeah, compared to yeah, maybe you keep yourself in there. I refuse to get old.
I was gonna say I think you're older than me.
So, but Wheeler, they interviewed Wheeler. The Jets were, I think it was 9 or 10 games left at the time. They weren't making the playoffs, and they talked to Wheeler, and he says, I just have no reason to go to the rink anymore. And I was like, you know what? You got 4.5 fucking million reasons to go to the rink, you dick. And ever since then, I never understood the captaincy off a quote like that. I'd be like, dude, that interview, you're out, man. Yeah. You can go sit in the corner and pout all you want like a typical American, but you're not getting that captaincy.
Say which one about Scheifele. He'd never say that.
Scheifele, no. Scheifele,
and you don't like Scheifele either.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of Scheifele. To me, he's a chirpy chirp, right? Like, just go take the face off. It sort of evens out in the end as a referee. Not saying that you do even it out, but if you miss something by accident or maybe the 2-ref system, you think you're going to call it, but you don't, it looks weird 6 seconds later going, okay, I'll call it. So there is even outs. And even that poor ref who got fired, he shouldn't have got fired either.
No,
right?
Because, he just said what everyone
knew.
He had a hot mic.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's all he had. And again, to me, that's cancel culture, wanting the hot mic.
Yeah.
Right? For some unknown reason. It's every sport. You're going to tell me the NFL doesn't have even ups?
Oh, everybody does. The baseball, if an ump misses a call, the next one that's close is going the other way.
Is going the other way. Yeah. So it's just part of the officiating. Yeah. If it's super obvious, like the TV call, I call it, a friend of mine used to say the TV call. If it's an obvious hook, you're going to call it. If it's questionable, there's so much hooking going on in the game. Which one do you call? Right, there's a penalty on every play. I don't care what anybody says. So I just think Tim something. I think who was the referee for. I think
Oh
Tim.
yeah. There was an NBA guy, Tim Donaghy. That's a whole other issue. But,
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I think you're right. Steitzel, maybe.
Maybe that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he got a bad rap too.
He did, but I think he had like, I think it was his last year anyways, he got bought out. So
Yeah.
it actually worked out okay for him. He just can't do alumni stuff, so.
Which is sad, right? So
Yeah,
this guy worked how many years in the NHL?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I got to find a quick one here to even things up. And I don't even think he didn't do it at the end of a game.
No,
to make any difference in the game. He did it at the beginning of the period.
And I think it was like kind of a meaningless game too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So, okay. So we're just about out of time, but before we go, pick your Stanley Cup finalists.
Oh boy.
I'll give you mine first.
Okay.
So I'll say Florida Panthers and Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think the Avalanche have to get out of their little slump here. Like they have decided to take
the right time to slump right now.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think yes and no. With 4 games left, let's say they have 4 games left, they need to pick up their socks.
I'm just saying better now than in the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. Boy, that Florida is a tough one. I was gonna go there too. I think that the Boston Bruins are gonna spoil. Whether they get to the finals, I'm not sure, but. I'm going to say, I hate doing this, I'm going to say Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be in the final. And for the Western side, I just have a hard time picking anybody this year. I just don't to me, it seems all over the place.
I mean, even Vegas, like if Vegas sneaks in, they could go all the way. They could do what Montreal did last year.
For sure. Edmonton, Calgary. I'm hoping I'm going to pull a Canadian side.
Okay.
I'm going to say an Alberta team.
That.
Alberta team is going to get there.
So, and a dark horse, you already said Boston. I'd say for a dark horse, Islanders.
Okay. And my dark horse is going to be if Vegas squeaks in. Actually, my dark horse, I'm going to switch this. My dark horse, Minnesota Wild.
Ooh, okay. I have a Wild shirt somewhere, but not here.
Like a Wild shirt?
No, like a Minnesota Wild shirt. I bought it when they got the franchise.
Okay,
I used to do that every time, because I grew up in the old days of, not 6 teams, but 21.
Sure.
So from 21 to like 28, every time there's a new team, I went out and bought the shirt. So
you got it all, man.
Yeah. So Jimmy, thanks for coming in.
Hey,
thanks for doing this. Hey, we'll do this again sometime when you get Wi-Fi. We'll do it remotely, or you can come. You know what? You're welcome to pop by anytime.
I'll look through the collectibles and see what I want for payment for coming on.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll give you 50% of the ad revenue.
I love it.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So for Jimmy, I'm Grandpa Dez, and this has been. We'll get it right this time. Cup of Joe.